What's up, all you cool cats and kittens? Yeah, that's right. You watched The Tiger King yet? Well, you still have plenty of time to do that. I'm wearing my John Connor shirt today. I'm also a fan of Public Enemy, so I feel like I'm not posing at all. I'm a fan of Public Enemy, and it's from Terminator 2. Anyway, all of that left aside, what's up, Film Club peeps? It's your boy Carson. Why do I talk like that? It doesn't matter. It's quarantine day 916, and I watched A Man Escaped last night. Our pick of the week, our Robert Bresson. Is it Bresson? Bresson? Not entirely sure. Someone should Google it. But Man Escaped. Boy, oh boy. I was kind of putting it off all week. I kept being like, do I want to watch this movie right now? And then I watched all of The Tiger King. And then I was like, do I want to watch this movie right now? And then I watched all of season 2 of Sex Education. Long story short, it's really easy to want to watch fluff TV. And not to say that either of those things are totally fluff, but then it is to sit down and watch, a revered French classic about a prison break. However, I threw it on last night and I was instantly glued to the screen. It's a very simple story. There's a spoiler alert in the title. And we spend 90% of the film with our lead, Fontaine, in his prison cell. And we just watch him slowly, methodically, meticulously put together his escape plan. And I love that it starts off with some Mozart music, and then there's no music in it at all until the very end. For those that are a little more fluent with newer films, this one really reminded me of the style of Wes Anderson, just in how meticulously detailed it was. So much of the film is just a close-up on Fontaine's two hands braiding together his rope, or the camera pans up to the lampshade that he can use for his escape. I don't really want to give away too much because I do think that if you haven't seen this movie yet, you should put it on. At the moment, I only found it streaming on Criterion Channel, but if you have the $4 to rent it on Amazon or iTunes or something, you should spend that money, because I was sitting there watching this movie and I thought to myself, this is from 1956? Why on earth has anyone made a prison break movie ever again? This is the one. If you want to watch a guy get out of prison, this is the movie to watch. Okay, maybe Ocean's 11 is pretty good too, but that's totally beside the point. We watch this guy Fontaine, who is a French resistance fighter in World War II. He gets captured for some resistance fighting baloney. Wow, it's not baloney. Rebellion is real, and French resistance was super legit. But he winds up in prison, and like many Nazi-run prisons in World War II, nobody knew what on earth was going to happen to them by a day-to-day basis. A lot of this film is experienced through sound. So we'll be in our prison cell with Fontaine, and we'll hear gunshots outside, and all we know is that somebody has been brought outside to the firing squad. And this is a daily occurrence, and it's a constant piece of taut, tension-filled sound design that keeps us rooting for Fontaine as we really feel this clock ticking. Anytime that he's working on something alone and he's getting signals from his buddy across the way of the guard coming around, and the way that we've set up this guard-prisoner dynamic through sound and through some very carefully placed shots of the guard clanging his keys along the railing as he ascends to the stairs to take Fontaine to his cell. We are now kind of putting that as a mental post-it to kind of be like, oh, anytime we hear those keys, you better hurry up, Fontaine, and put your shit away, because they coming for you, bro. But yeah, his very few interactions that he has with other prisoners, everybody working together to try and keep the hope alive, bits of paper passed between people during wash time, or a pacing prisoner outside his window who anytime comes by the wall is trading little pieces of information. This is all slowly unfolded and given to us. Until really, if you haven't watched the movie yet, maybe stand back for this part. But once he is joined in his prison cell by his 16-year-old prison mate, cellmate, we're like, fuck! Now what? He was so close to getting out. Is this person a spy that is just there to get him to confess? Is this another prisoner for real? Can we trust this person with our plan? It is a very small room. I mean, like, if this is the bed, this is how much room you have, and this is the door. It is a small space. And you're wondering, is he gonna kill this kid? Is he gonna invite the kid? And what I loved about the movie was how much time we took plotting the escape. And then the escape itself was like the last 15 minutes of the movie. He just kind of like ups and gets the fuck out of there. And but the danger is always felt. I watched the Adventures in Moviegoing with Paul Dano about this film. And he was talking about how there's this shot where Fontaine is against the wall and he disappears. Here, let me do it. He disappears, boom! And we just hear some stuff and then he comes back. And we know what has just happened, but the choice that Robert Bresson has made to not follow that bit of violence and to just stay on the wall for Fontaine to come back, it's almost like that's not the story we're telling. The story is not about how Fontaine killed this guard to get away. It's almost like, is it gonna work? Is he about to just hop around the corner, get captured, and get thrown into his cell until the morning where he's gonna get surely shot tomorrow? We don't know. But of course, the title of the film is A Man Escaped. It is based on a true story. They tell you that right at the beginning. And it was just such an exciting piece of film. I loved that. It's like almost 70 years old. And from the moment it began, I didn't want to turn it off. I didn't want to turn my eyes away from the screen. My ears were so perked up listening to this incredible sound design. I'd only ever seen Balthazar before this, so this is only my second Robert Bresson film. Both of them are spectacular, and both of them really showcase one thing that he was very well known for, which is hiring non-actors to do the films. All or most of the actors that he uses, from my understanding, are non-professionals. And what you wind up with is this very realistic, very natural portrayal of these people. And also they look like real people because they are real people. It's not Marlon Brando and somebody else. It's just like people doing stuff. It almost makes it feel like a little bit more documentary style. But yeah, A Man Escaped. Go watch it. It's so good, especially right now. I kind of kept, fantasizing about escaping my quarantine. So it wound up being kind of a fun little piece of escapism. But definitely go watch this movie. I took an extra day because, I had to finish Tiger King. But watch this film. We're on to the next one. I've got the next one picked out. I will give you a little teaser by saying that on Wednesday, April 1st, is Toshiro Mifune's 100th birthday. No, he is not still alive, sadly, but he was Akira Kurosawa's #1 guy. Acted with him a bunch of times. So we're going to go ahead and watch a Toshiro Mifune film, but I'll tell you which one a little later today. So hope y'all are enjoying your quarantine. If you want to find something that is streaming that isn't on Criterion Channel, A Portrait of a Lady on Fire is on Hulu, and it is one of the best movies I've ever watched. So if you have Hulu, it's a brand new film. It only came out in February in the States in theaters, so it is pretty much brand new. And if you haven't watched that, go watch that. But if you have a way to watch A Man Escaped, definitely watch A Man Escaped. I love you guys. Keep your heads up. Shoot me some comments. I would love to interact with some of you guys about this film if you did get a chance to watch it. So, shoot me a line. Otherwise, fight on, keep it real, and remember that I saw a tiger. I don't think that's how that song goes.